Well, I did it. I quit my job in a quiet yet epic fashion. So I woke up like any other day, gave myself a pep talk, convinced myself that I needed to go to this job and I need to stay the whole day. And I said it was going to be a good day. Got dressed begrudgingly and went to work. Put my things away in my locker, gathered my stuff to go work. And I was there for a good 20 minutes. And it was not like any other day. People were being the way that they always are. It was very predictable. But something in me felt different and it wasn't the same. So the team lead, and I use the word lead very loosely, very loosely. The team leader told me what section I was going to go in, shooed me away, and I went to go in the section that I was told to go work in. I was being trained on a new machine. I've been being trained on a new machine in a new position that literally puts me to sleep. Like standing up, it's hard to not fall asleep. And this guy that I worked with was circling me like he does, preparing himself to say something to me. Because he's one of those guys that if you don't give him attention, that it rocks his spirit and he needs you to give him attention and he needs to know that you like him. Sometimes I attract those types of people because I don't play those types of games. Like, anywho, he was circling me. And I could feel him circling me. I could feel him coming back around. And I looked up at a sign that I had just noticed yesterday. It was a little piece of paper, a little tiny piece of paper posted on the wall that said that, hey, the radiation in this building is okay, is an okay amount of radiation according to the state of Texas. I just noticed the sign yesterday. And my eyes lifted up to this sign. And I could feel the guy's energy circling me. And I could feel the team leader watching me. And I just said, I'm done. This is it. It's time. And I walked off the floor to my locker, gathered my shit, put their shit in the locker, and I went and scanned my face, because that's what you have to do to clock in and out, to clock out, and I left. I left out the nearest exit. I didn't even leave out the exit that I came in. So I ended up having to walk around the building to go to get to my car. And it was the best walk of my life. I felt so much relief and so much freedom. Without a plan, without knowing exactly what my next step was, I knew that it was time. And I have historically stayed too long in places with people and in such situations. And my spirit told me that it was time, right then and there. And as I was walking, and I was walking past these beautiful trees, of course having conversations with them as I'm passing, looking up at the night sky because it was still dark outside. It was still very early in the morning. Looking at the stars. I couldn't remember the last time I walked outside when it was night in nature. And I was looking at the stars and breathing in the cool, crisp morning air. I knew I made the right decision. I knew it was the best decision. And even though I don't have a plan specifically, and I still got bills to pay, I feel free. I don't feel concerned. I'm not worried. So I'm walking, enjoying the beautiful trees, and I'm crossing the field to go to the parking lot where my car is. And who do I see looking over at me in the field that I'm crossing? The deers. The deers were there. And maybe about maybe about 15 minutes before into my walk, I had said to myself, if I see a deer, that's my confirmation. And right before I was about to get into the parking lot and leave the fields, right before I was getting to my car, 2 deers. And they stopped what they were doing. They were running and playing to watch me. And I was watching them. And I thanked them. So, what's next? Well, I have a little bit of a plan. But I'm not telling you. I'm not telling anyone. My plan is between me and God. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because every time I've shared my plans, my excitement, with people around me, they have a way of raining on my parade. And I refuse to let anybody rain on my parade. I refuse to let anyone's energy of fear and doubt or negativity or the limitations that they put on their lives to be put on me. I refuse it. I've had so many things that I've planned on doing not happen because I shared it too soon. I shared it when it was in the incubation period. It's the same reason a woman who have maybe had a few miscarriages won't share that they're pregnant again, because it's a sensitive time. And outside energies can affect that growth and that potential. So I won't allow it. So you're just going to have to watch and wait to see what's happening next. But what I can promise you is that every decision that I have made, every choice is guided, and it is moving me closer to my purpose. Working trapped in a building for 10 hours a day with people who don't like me, who don't know me, with leaders who don't know what it means to lead, working around chemicals and machines that are toxic, not being compensated what you're actually worth, being devalued, underappreciated, trying to be normal. Man, I have been trying to be normal most of my life. I ain't normal. I'm just not. It ain't me. I'm not normal. I'm not normal. And the more I embrace who I am and the more I embrace where I am, I'm beginning to accept that more and more and more and appreciate that about me. I'm not meant to do these things, to be in certain spaces that I've been trying to force myself into. Going after ideas and things that I don't even want. Trying to prove myself that I could be like everybody else. Well, I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm not. It's not in my spirit to settle. I just can't. I'm allergic to settling. My body, my mind, my spirit, everything rejects it. When I would go into that job, as the day would go on, throughout the day, my body would start to ache. It was aging me. The idea of being punished because you sign up for overtime and something happens in your life and you can't work the overtime, or maybe it was a hard week and you change your mind. The fact that these people would try to punish people for not being able to work overtime or changing their mind for wanting to work extra is crazy to me. People regulating when you go to the bathroom is wild to me. That's the type of work environments that are happening right now. And it's sad when the running joke is we don't get paid to think. It's wild to me. I'm not made for this system, for this way of working, a way of living. It ain't for me. So I'm taking the steps to free myself from it so that I can do things that actually mean something to me, that bring value to my life, and that supports and bring value to others. One last work story. It's not about this job that I just walked out of, but it's about the very first job that I got laid off from. Fired, laid off, whatever you want to call it. So I was working at a wholesale food production place, a small business, very small staff, and I was absolutely overqualified, but it was gonna be fun and interesting, and it was gonna be back in the food world, so I was down for it, and it paid decent. The pay was decent, so I went in. I pick up things very easily. I could make and do everything that they had on their menu. So I was eager to show what an asset I could be, especially to a small business. If it was my business, I would want someone like me on the team. So the lady that was training me, she was a Latino lady, a Mexican lady. I'm in Texas. And things were going great. She trained me, boom, picked it up quick, was doing everything I needed to do. She was gatekeeping some of the items on the menu because I realized that she had a fear of being replaced or not needed. So she gatekeeped a lot of the things on the menu and wouldn't teach me or allow me to do them. But what she didn't realize is that she didn't need to teach me how to do what she was doing. I already knew what she was doing. But she gatekeeped the making of things. And she would do everything so that I wasn't able to do it. So they hired someone else a few weeks after they hired me because business was picking up. And they had me train this woman, which I thought was a little odd because I was still pretty new myself. But hey, whatever. I didn't think too much into it at the time. So I try not to talk about religion and politics in work environments because I find those two topics to be very triggering to people who are attached to their ideas, who identify too closely to their ideology. So this woman, this Latino, this Mexican woman who was probably in her 50s, maybe rolling up on 60, she wants to ask me about Donald Trump. This was this was before he was elected this last time. So I'm trying to tell her I don't talk about politics because it pisses people off. But no, she wanted to keep going in on it. Asked me who I voted for. Well, it was damn sure not Donald Trump. This was after the first election. She proceeds to tell me in her very thick accent that she loves Donald Trump and she's voting for Donald Trump. And I couldn't help myself. I told her Donald Trump does not love you. Donald Trump probably hates you and cares very little about you. And that ended the conversation immediately. Well, after that, her energy completely shifted with me. She stopped talking with me. We stopped having conversations. I could feel the shift. It was drastic. And it just further confirmed to me why I don't talk about politics with people. So on my off day, about a few weeks later after this happened, maybe 2 to 3 weeks after this happened. Prior to that, let me back up a little bit. The head chef is having me come in after hours to prep items on the menu. This is how much trust they're giving in me and my abilities. I'm knocking it out. We're talking about a pay increase. We're talking about more responsibilities because clearly I'm able and willing. We go from that to about 3 weeks later, I get a phone call from the owner telling me that I'm essentially being laid off. I'm being fired. And I'm in utter shock and disbelief. Didn't see this one coming. I've never been fired from a job my entire life. I've been working since I was 13 years old. Never have I ever been let go from a job. And he hits me with, we're downsizing, okay, but I wasn't the last person that was hired. Then he hits me with just all these weird reasons why it had to be me. And I'm just in shock. I'm in utter disbelief. And I'm like, that can't be why you let me go. Like, let's just keep it real. And he says, well, it was mentioned that you would go to the bathroom often. Well, I'm a woman, and once a month, things happen to my body that require me to go to the bathroom a little more frequently and for a little bit longer periods of time. Not to mention, I have to leave out of our suite and go to a shared community bathroom that's in this building that's shared with other businesses that's down the hall. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I think out of guilt, he gives me a check, like cuts me a check above and beyond what I was owed for pay. And I'm able to file for unemployment. So I'm like, hey, well, this works out. It's hot here. So I realized that this woman had me fired because I told her that Donald Trump didn't care about her. And as I was walking out this job today, I thought about her. And I wonder if she thinks about the fact that she got me fired because I told her the truth. And if she realizes now, after everything that's happening with all the immigration stuff and all these policies that's happening, and I'm sure it's affecting her and her family, I wonder if she thinks about the fact that she affected my livelihood. But it's funny because what they meant for evil to punish you, God turned good. It was because of that severance package and because of that unemployment that I was able to fully focus on giving all my energy to art and trying to push my art career, which that still hasn't happened. I haven't broke through in that space yet. But it gave me room to be able to do that. So what was an ego punch and a gut punch actually turned into an opportunity for me. So things work out. God, the universe, works things out. And I'm stepping out on faith. I don't have income lined up. I still got bills to pay. The YouTube thing ain't popping off like I thought it would. My art, nobody seems to really care except for me these days. And somehow, in some way, I am finding more and more joy than ever before. And I trust and I know that something beautiful is happening and that I'm moving closer and closer towards what my purpose is in this life. So yeah, I quit my job without a plan, and you're here to witness it. Sometimes you just got to step out on faith. Sometimes it's not about knowing what the next step is. It's not about knowing what's happening next. It's about knowing what's not for you. And I knew that if I stayed one more moment, one more day in that place, doing that job with those people, that it was going to interfere with what God has in store for me. So if you made it this far, then there's something in my journey that is for you to hear. There's something in it. There's something in it that is to inspire you, encourage you, uplift you, to move towards living your best life. Living the life of your dreams, because you deserve it. I deserve it. We deserve it. So like this video, comment if you feel so called to share your experience. And if you feel called to subscribe, that's even better. And stay tuned to what's up next, because it's about to get real interesting around here. Like, for real. So, as always, take care.